السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. I hope you guys are as excited as I am. Alhamdulillah that Allah had blessed me to be part of the journey that all of you went through and finishing this Quran. But the real question that you have to ask at this very moment in your lives is not that Alhamdulillah I have finished Quran and that's it, that's the end of my journey. But the bigger question is, what do I do from here and where do I stand? Now, what do I do from here is going to differ between every single person and their capabilities. Do not be a copycat. Do not do what everybody else is doing. So if you see somebody that is teaching Quran or they have a small halaqah in their house, that you start copying them. Do what Allah has gifted you. So maybe Allah has blessed you to be very good with social media. So spread the message and this spark of learning Quran on social media. Maybe Allah has blessed you to do some editing videos, like such as editing this video. So do something to do with that. But whatever you do, keep that spirit of connecting with the Quran alive in your endeavors. That's very, very important. People do not like copycats. Number two, where do you stand today? This is the most critical question that every one of you has to ask. Where do we stand today? Is, if you want to look at it like from a consultant's point of view, that's what I do for a living, is we go into a company, we say as is, where does the company stand today? Where do they want to head? What's their future direction? So you need to take a self-audit of yourselves. Where do you stand in terms of your tajweed? Where do you stand in terms of your word-to-word? How good is your word-to-word translation? Where do you stand in terms of your Arabic grammar? Where do you stand in terms of your general understanding of the Quran? Where do you stand in terms of seerah and how depth of a knowledge you have for seerah for you to be able to better understand Quran? Now, take an audit of yourselves on those 5 things. Now, once you've determined your weakest link, I don't want you to work on that. I want you to work on your strongest ability. So maybe you're amazing at word to word. So you might want to, add different things into your vocabulary. You might want to start memorizing word to word of the Quran. You might want to start memorizing Jalalain if Allah has given you that ability. Somebody might be really, really good at grammar. So you might want to just excel in that one field. See, my advice to you is, whatever you do, all these sciences connected to the Quran, look at what you're best at and become the best at it. Become a point where people look up to you for that particular science. There are many speakers out there that talk about Quran and stuff like that, but you'll find that the few that have made it in terms of the public sphere, the few that people want to listen to, are people who are experts in 1 or 2 elements of the Quran. So after that, when you've done that audit and you've set your journey, you've determined this is where you are and this is where you need to head, then obviously your journey is going to start. But what happens during the journey is you get lost. Everybody gets lost. Everybody gets derailed. That's life. That's why we call it life. We don't know anything about it. But what I'm going to give you today is a gift, and inshallah we're going to anchor you to this very moment of your graduation. So every time you find yourself lost in your own journey of developing yourself in the Quran, then you can always go back and listen to this nasheed, which will be a gift from me to all of you, pertaining to the Quran and about the graduation ceremony and all of that. And inshallah, that should bring you back on track every single time. So when you listen to this nasheed, make sure that you have all the feelings that you're feeling right now, all the feelings of happiness, joy, whatever you're feeling. So every time you listen to this nasheed for this particular day or 2, while these feelings are still fresh, keep listening to this nasheed, and what our brain does is we get anchored to this particular nasheed with all the feelings that we're feeling right now. Kind of like, if I were to say this, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, your mind will automatically go to Makkah, because you're anchored to this particular sound, and all the memories of you going to Makkah, they get revived. So inshallah, that is the purpose of this nasheed. Inshallah, the translation of the nasheed is being given to all of you guys. I hope that you enjoy this. The nasheed is called Nurun fi dhulumati, unsi fi khalawati. And if I were to go and stand and do the translation, it might take a long time. But again, I have sent that translation for all of you, and I hope that somebody over there might take over they might go through the translation with you so you understand it, and then they'll play that with you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Lots and lots of dua for every single one of you, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all of your efforts, accept this journey, specifically all the teachers that were involved in this particular endeavor, and all the volunteers who sacrificed their valuable time, who sacrificed their as is to the where they want to be journey for all of you to benefit from this. Make also lots and lots of du'as for all of those people that were involved in this particular journey. I got a pleasure to meet a lot of them. They were a lot of them had a lot of ambitions, but all of you had to go through this journey, and they gave up their ambitions so you guys can all benefit from it. So make lots of dua for them, and then when you're done with this ceremony, when you see them in the hallways, from your teacher all the way to the volunteers of the previous batch, go and give them a pat on their girls don't do pats, but do whatever you girls do. Anyhow, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Wish you all a very, very pleasant life with the Quran.